Hey, Providence family, I'm John, and I'm so excited to share with you a huge next step in our mission at Providence. We've been praying that God would expand our hearts and help us to extend ourselves to the point of discomfort in order to reach our city, and our world. And so together we've been reaching, we've been blessing, we've been inviting, and God is using our faithfulness to grow His church. Now we believe that God is calling us to make room for even more people to be reached and encounter Jesus. That's why starting this August, we're launching a brand new Saturday evening worship service. Now I know that many of you have transitioned to the 8 a.m. service. Hundreds of you worship each week in our additional venue, and we're so thankful for your willingness to serve in that way. And yet the 9:30 and the 11:10 service are approaching capacity. So first of all, we don't want to miss the opportunity to celebrate what God is doing and give thanks. But at the same time, here's the challenge. If we do nothing at this time, our ability to remain faithful to the mission and vision God has given us will be constrained by our facility and parking capacity, therefore limiting the number of people who can experience God's presence and grow in their faith. And that's just not an option for us. So we see several solutions. First of all, we could build bigger, which is a long-term option, but very costly, time-consuming, and ultimately reduces parking. Or we could launch a second campus, which is a real possibility for the future, but just not an immediate solution. And then thirdly, we could add a service, which is a strategic and cost-effective step forward. And so we've prayed, we've sought God's direction, and we believe He's leading us to expand our reach with the Saturday evening service.
What does this mean for you? Let me break it down. Starting this August, we will gather every Saturday night for worship and life groups for all ages. It's going to be the same powerful worship experience, the same vibrant community, just smaller, more intimate opportunity to gather, grow together, and invite others to join us. Life groups will begin at 4 p.m., followed by the service at 5:30. Brian will continue to preach at the same frequency he does now. The worship sets and sermon series will mimic Sunday mornings, and I will be there keenly focused on building relationships with you, helping you and others connect and serve through hospitality, next steps, and groups for all ages, birth through adult. We're asking God to raise up at least 400 people to be a part of this launch, and we want you to be one of them. Every time something new is launched, we need servant leaders that see the vision, step out in faith, and sacrifice and make it happen. And we're asking you to prayerfully consider being one of those leaders.
So as we close here, I encourage you to take a moment and consider just how much culture shapes our routines, often more than we realize. For most of our lives, Sunday morning church has been the norm. It's how we structure our weekends, plan our kids' routines, and build our small group communities. It's comfortable, it's familiar, and it's ingrained in our rhythm. So when we hear about a Saturday evening service, our natural reaction is, well, that just wouldn't work for us. And you're right. Within your current culture, it wouldn't work.
But what if we changed the culture of our weekend? What would we need to lay aside to make Saturday evening worship an integral part of our weekend? But also, what would we gain? New ministries, new opportunities to serve, and even a brand new way to reach our city. We're asking each of you to pray before the Lord and ask a simple question, as I have alongside of you. Why not me, Lord? We'd love for you to join us on Saturday nights, stepping into something new and seeing what God will do. To find out more or even to sign up, you can visit pray.org/Saturday.